following is a feature presentation of the Replay Sports Channel, the home for great games.
Welcome to WFL Inside Access. I'm your host, Glenn Walker. This episode of WFL Inside Access is brought to you by Royal Retros, your ultimate one-stop shop representing the teams of the past. Head over to Royal Retros today and use the discount code REPLAY to receive 10% off your purchase. The link will be provided in the show description. In Week 3 of the 2025 season, the Stars outlasted the Bandits in a monsoon in Tampa. The Stallions rallied past the Legends with a little help from Saquon. The Hitmen rallied late to shock the Express in Memphis. Meanwhile, Goff and the Gunslingers light up the Generals in New York. Gino and King Henry power the Gold past the Maulers in a shootout at the Apex. The Battlehawks ride Ramondre and defense to win over the Wildcats. Rogers and the Rattlers stay perfect in a win over the Fire. The Fleet sail past the Wheels to stay undefeated. The Outlaws dominate the Gladiators. And Birmingham cruises past the Defenders in prime time. The Inside Access crew will give you all the details.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Week 3 of the WFL. Well, it felt less like settling in and maybe more about separation, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. The source material, we've got all the reviews, the stats. They're practically shouting one thing.
Yeah.
The top teams are really pulling away.
And they're doing it with some just incredible offensive fireworks. Efficiency we haven't quite seen across the board like this before.
That's really the story, isn't it? Week 3 wasn't subtle. It showed us who can execute when it counts. We saw, multiple QBs just operating on another level entirely.
Yeah, definitely redefined high performance.
So our job now really is to dig into all this data and figure out the why, what's behind these pretty seismic shifts we saw.
Okay, let's do it. Our mission is pretty clear. Find the key things setting these 3U teams apart. Understand the grit that won those nail biters.
And crucially, figure out what's going wrong for those 4 teams stuck it through. There've got to be some common threads there.
Right. We're looking for those predictive insights. For you listening, the aha moment isn't just, wow, lots of touchdowns.
No, it's about understanding how. The mastery of efficiency, controlling the clock, making the right calls under pressure, that's what made the difference.
Okay, let's jump right into that air raid assault then. 3 teams, still perfect. Arizona, San Diego, Las Vegas. But wow, we have to start with San Antonio.
Yeah, the Gunslingers just dismantling the Generals 45-17. You have to talk about Jared Goff first.
The six-pack club, as some are calling it, just dominant.
And it wasn't just flinging it around.
Yeah.
It was controlled dominance. Goff goes 29-39, 392 yards, and 6 touchdowns.
6, and no interceptions.
0 turnovers. That efficiency, that discipline, it's a huge separator right now between the top offenses and, everyone else.
And the stat that screams discipline, San Antonio. A perfect 5 for 5 inside the red zone.
Think about that. 5 trips inside the 20, 5 touchdowns. That's just flawless execution.
Shows incredible play calling, knowing exactly what to do when the field shrinks.
And player execution, too, especially Amon-Ra St. Brown. 11 catches, 179 yards, and 4 of those 6 touchdowns. Unstoppable.
The Generals just had no answer down there.
None at all. That concentration of talent was too much.
Okay, so Goff showed that discipline perfection, but then you have Geno Smith in Denver showing, statistical perfection.
Right. In that 45-34 shootout win over Pittsburgh, his line is just staggering.
It really is. 22 of 24 passing for 401 yards and 3 TDs.
And the perfect 158.3 passer rating. For anyone listening who doesn't follow that metric closely, hitting that number is almost impossible.
Yeah, it means basically flawless decision-making, maybe 1 or 2 incompletions tops that weren't throwaways, No risky throws at all.
Exactly. It's a statement game for him.
And the thing is, Denver didn't even need 6 passing TDs from him because they were so balanced on offense.
That's key. Derrick Henry just pounding away 125 rushing yards, 2 scores on the ground.
So the defense couldn't just sit back and worry about Mike Evans, who still got 162 yards and a TD.
Or Michael Pittman Jr., who added 119 and a score himself.
Right.
That balance makes them incredibly tough to defend.
We should give a nod, though, even in the loss, to Pittsburgh's Shawn Jennings.
Oh, absolutely. Career day for him. 13 catches, 178 yards. It just shows.
Individual brilliance isn't always enough.
Right. Not if your defense is getting carved up by that kind of balanced attack.
Okay, let's check back in with the other undefeateds. Arizona gets to 3-0, beating Chicago 36-27.
Yeah, and this felt like vintage Aaron Rodgers. Clutch when needed. 424 yards, 3 TDs.
The connection with Trey McBride was huge. 12 catches, 178 yards, and a touchdown.
Rodgers and Jalen Hurts over in Vegas, their success really highlights having a clear offensive identity.
Vegas looked dominant too, crushing Cleveland 40-14. Hurts was responsible for, 380 total yards?
380 total, yeah. 320 passing, 60 rushing, and 5 touchdown passes. But the key, the real insight, is how they won so convincingly.
Tell us about the clock. That number jumped out.
It's incredible. Las Vegas controlled the ball for 39 minutes and 17 seconds. Cleveland had it for barely over 20 minutes. And that's not just, conservative play calling. It's Hurts leading these long, grinding drives, 12, 15 plays sometimes.
Just wears down the defense.
Completely.
Yeah.
It exhausts the secondary, fatigues the pass rush. It's like a physical chokehold on the game. And we'll see how that directly led to Cleveland just collapsing later on.
Okay, so we've seen the blowouts, the high-flying offenses, but not every game was like that. Some teams really had to grind out wins.
Yeah, let's shift to the clutch performances and the tough finishes. Strategy really mattered in these games.
And the wildest one had to be New Jersey beating Memphis, 45-41. What a roller
It's
coaster.
an absolute roller coaster. This game was all about mental toughness, bouncing back from adversity.
Because New Jersey was down by 13 in the fourth quarter
Yeah.
after Memphis gets that insane 105-yard pick six from DeAndre Alexander.
Right. A play like that usually breaks a team's spirit. It feels like game over.
But they didn't flinch. Rashad Bateman, just wow.
MVP performance, easily. 7 catches, 149 yards, 4 touchdowns. And 2 of those came in the final 5 minutes to snatch the win.
That's incredible focus after seeing your QB throw a 105-yard pick six.
Huge mental toughness. Channeling that frustration into immediate game-winning production, that's special.
And you feel for Memphis, too. Lamar Jackson put up huge numbers, 331 passing, 85 rushing.
He did everything he could. But ultimately, the Hitmen defense got those couple of crucial 4th down stops late when they absolutely had to.
Then there was Baltimore's win over Atlanta, 26-14. This one felt like a tale of 2 halves or maybe 3 quarters.
Yeah, Atlanta started fast. Joe Burrow got them out to a 14-7 lead. Looked like they might run away with it.
But Baltimore's response tells the story. Saquon Barkley was key, 93 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, grinding it out.
He was. But the real story, the why it matters part, is that Baltimore defense. After that quick start by Atlanta, complete shutdown.
They forced punts on 7 straight possessions.
7 straight. For the final 3 quarters, that tells you Baltimore made a major schematic adjustment after that first quarter.
Must have figured out how to disrupt Burrow's rhythm.
It seems like it. They likely changed up their pressure packages, got him off his spot, ended up with 4 sacks total. That sustained pressure just killed Atlanta's drives.
And then there was the messy one, Philly beating Tampa Bay 2017 on the road.
Yeah, the rainy road win.
Yeah.
Sounds like pure chaos based on the reports. Swirling rain, slick ball.
17 penalties between the teams, 7 drop passes, just ugly football conditions.
Exactly. And in those conditions, finesse goes out the window. It becomes about toughness and smarts.
And that's how the Stars won, right? And strategy.
Absolutely. Derek Carr managed the game well. 230 yards, 2 TDs. But the key was ball control. They dominated time of possession almost 36 minutes to Tampa's 24.
And they went for it on 4th down 3 times.
And converted all 3. Critical conversions. Philadelphia knew that in the rain, just moving the chains, limiting Tampa's chances, that was more valuable than trying for splash plays. Smart, gritty win.
Okay, let's shift gears again. Let's talk about defenses really imposing their will. We saw some crushing wins fueled by D, starting with St. Louis handling the LA Wildcats, 32-13.
Yeah, handling might be putting it mildly. The Battlehawks defense didn't just play well. They tormented Dak Prescott.
6 sacks and 3 interceptions. That's just relentless pressure.
It points to a complete breakdown in LA's protection. You just can't win in this league, giving up pressure like that. 6 sacks, 3 picks. game over.
And while the defense was doing that, the offense just leaned on Ramondre Stevenson.
129 yards and a score for him. Helped St. Louis control the clock over 34 minutes. It's becoming their identity, isn't it? Tough defense, run the ball, high percentage passes.
And that connection between Will Levis-Rush and Sam Laporta is clicking too.
10 catches for Laporta, both PDs went his way. That's a reliable safety valve.
The other huge defensive statement was Monday night, Birmingham just routing the DC defenders 45-10.
It's Monday Night Massacre, yeah. Total demolition right from the start. And it was sparked by the defense, too.
That Reed Blankenship pick six, 33 yards, getting defensive points that early, it just changes everything.
It completely changes the game script, puts immediate pressure on the other team, makes them press, and Birmingham's defense capitalized.
You saw it with C.J. Stroud, sacked 6 times, threw that pick. It felt like a mirror image of what happened to Prescott.
It really did. When a defense can get a big lead like that, 24 year early, they can just tee off with their pass rush. It snowballs quickly. Bo Nix, meanwhile, was just dealing 5 TD passes for Birmingham.
Spread the ball around too. 2 to Justin Jefferson. Looked effortless.
Yeah, complete offensive control.
Yeah.
Enabled by that defensive dominance.
Now, before we get to the teams really struggling, we have to mention Travis Kelce's day.
Oh, man. What a performance. Detroit loses big to San Diego, 49-31, but Kelce.
14 catches, 171 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Just unbelievable.
In a loss like that, an 18-point loss.
Yeah.
It's almost a perfect example of how one superstar can't do it alone.
Right. It highlights everything else that must be going wrong.
Exactly. It screams lack of supporting cast, failure on defense. You just can't overcome those systemic issues, no matter how brilliantly one guy plays.
Okay, that tees up the 0-3 club perfectly. 4 teams still winless. Cleveland, LA, Pittsburgh, and Detroit. We've seen symptoms like low rushing yards, but let's connect the dots. What's the root cause here?
I think you have to tie their failures directly back to why the winning teams won. It fundamentally comes down to controlling the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball.
Okay, start with Cleveland. We mentioned that time of possession against Vegas.
They were held to 9 rushing yards. 9. You can't function offensively like that.
No chance.
It makes you completely one-dimensional. The defense knows you have to pass. And it meant their own defense was on the field forever, getting worn down by Hurts and that Vegas offense. It's an offensive imbalance failure, plain and simple.
And Los Angeles against St. Louis, different problem, same result.
For LA, it was all about protection, or lack thereof. That offensive line just crumbled. 6 sacks, 3 interceptions for Prescott.
And again, no run game to help. Only 36 rushing yards total.
So the defense could just pin their ears back. This feels like a protection scheme failure for LA. They just cannot handle pressure right now.
Pittsburgh lost that shootout to Denver, 45-34. Jennings had a huge day, but they still gave up 45 points.
Yeah, their issue seems purely defensive and schematic. You can't let a QB have a perfect passer rating against you.
Letting Evans and Pittman both go over 100 yards.
Right. This shows major issues in coverage or maybe an inability to generate their own pass rush. They might be able to score, but they can't get stops when they need them.
And finally, Detroit. We talked about Kelce's 4 TDs. Completely wasted because they gave up 49 points.
Detroit looks like a combination of talent disparity and defensive collapse. They lean so heavily on Kelce offensively, it makes them predictable.
And the defense just seems broken right now.
Giving up 49 points, yeah. Even when your offense manages to put up 31, which isn't bad, you're not even close to winning. They have major problems on that side of the ball.
So wrapping this all up, Week 3 felt really decisive. The MVP race is already intense. Hurts, Rodgers, Goff, Smith, all making incredible cases.
Staggering efficiency from those guys.
And the clearest path to victory this week seemed to be winning in the trenches. That showed up as dominating time of possession, converting in the red zone, controlling the game physically.
Which brings up, I think, a really important question for you, the listener, to think about going forward. We saw these huge offensive numbers. Goff's 6 TDs, Smith's perfect rating, Nick's 5 TDs.
All enabled by good protection and at least a competent run game.
Exactly. Now contrast that with the 0-3 teams. Teams struggling fundamentally, like getting only 9 rushing yards or giving up 6 sacks constantly.
Yeah, the gap seems massive already.
So is the league structure itself, maybe unintentionally, creating this huge power gap between the elite teams with established QBs and protection and these struggling franchises?
That's a tough question. Can those 0-3 teams even fix these core problems? Blocking, running the ball mid-season?
Right. Can they realistically fight their way back into contention, or are they basically playing out the string already? That structural story, that potential widening gap, is something we really need to track in the coming weeks.
Welcome back.
You've been listening to the WFL Inside Access, brought to you by Royal Retros. Be sure to like and subscribe the show on the Replay Sports channel on YouTube. Thanks for listening. Have a great night.